Hey everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. We are going to be working with the Best Summer Ever collection from Echo Park. I've also included the brads, the ephemera, and the chipboard stickers. There is a 12x12 sticker sheet as well in this 12-page collection kit. Each page is different, they're all double-sided. And I also need 4 sheets of cardstock. So I have a bunch of coordinating cardstock here that I bought to go with this collection, and I'm going to be using 2 sheets of the yellow as a neutral kind of a color, and then 1 of each of the other colors. So one is a purple and light pink, and then the other one will be a green and dark pink, and then the other one I'm just going to put to the side, and I'm probably not going to use it at all. So those are the 4 pieces of cardstock that we need. Now we need to pick 4 background pages and 2 accent papers. Okay, so what I basically like to do is take my stack of 12 pattern papers, and I first start off by eliminating my journaling cards, and then I start flipping them over to find which side I like the best. So here I'm separating my journaling cards and then picking which side I like. Okay, so we need the 6 pages total, so the 2 accent papers and the 4 background papers. So my first accent paper here is going to be this greenish yellow. It's the same color as our 2 yellow green cardstocks. This checkered paper here on top, that's going to be our first accent paper. I really like it. It goes with everything. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of keep going through the rest here. I really like this word paper. It brings in all the colors and I like the words, so that's going to be our second accent paper. So now we just need background papers. This flower one I really liked, along with this peachy pink kind of colored checkerboard pattern. And then I liked the sunglasses too, but I kind of also like the idea of this purple checkerboard pattern. So I put that to the side to use as a background as well. I'm not sure which side I'm going to use yet of that purple sheet. And then I really wasn't liking any of the other papers, so I decided to use this journaling, the back of one of these journaling cards, and it's a bunch of water balloons. And that is really going to be you know, what your summer pictures are about. For us, we have a lot of water fights and things like that, and my kids have a lot of water fights with their cousins, so that was a perfect paper for us. We have cutting diagrams in my tutorial videos, and I just kind of want to let you know how to read them. So there's the number in top in inches, and that's going to be the size that we're going to cut that cut piece into. And there's a number below it in a circle. So a lot of the times we're making 4 pages or 6 pages when we're using these cutting diagrams, and all these cut pieces can sort of get very disorganized. So that number inside of the circle there represents a pile that you're going to put that cut piece into. So for a 4-page tutorial, we're going to make 4 piles, and for a 6-page tutorial, we're going to make 6 piles. So the numbers are going to be either 1 through 4 or 1 through 6. So page 1 is going to have all the cut pieces that have a circle with the number 1 inside, and so on for the 4 or 6 pages. So now we're going to go ahead and take all pieces of our cardstock, and we are going to cut 1 inch in, 1 inch from the top, and 1 inch from the bottom, and we're going to make a straight line on all 4 sides of each of these pieces of cardstock. What we're basically doing is cutting a 10 by 10 inch square out of the center of this piece of cardstock. The border is going to be put into our pile, and the center, the 10 by 10 inch center, is going to be put to the side, and we're going to be cutting it with another cutting diagram as soon as we're done cutting out all of these squares. Now we're going to go ahead and cut the backgrounds for our pages. So we are going to be cutting the barcode strip off along with 1/2 inch and then 1/2 inch on the other side. So we're going to be making an 11.5 inch by 11.5 inch square for all of our background papers. Okay, for this sheet, I actually screwed up when I was cutting. I cut 3.25 inches instead of 5.25 inches for the bottom piece that goes into pile number 2. So if you do it like the way I cut it and I cut it too short, I cut it 3.25 inches by 10 inches instead of 5.25 by 10 inches, it works either way. So the proper way to do it is 5.25 inches like the cutting diagram says. But if you did screw it up and followed what I was actually cutting on screen, that's okay, it's gonna work no matter what. Okay, so this is where you should have the 5.25 inch piece of wording paper here instead of the 3.25 inches. So as you can see, mine is going to be 2 inches more narrow than yours will be if you did cut it the proper way. But as you can see, it really doesn't make that big of a difference. So if you happen to screw up with that as well, don't worry about it. It's still gonna work out just fine. So once in a while, like when I'm assembling the pages and really picking the paper selection in the beginning, I really just don't feel the pages. And sometimes it's just the color scheme or the patterns or just the way, the font, just like there's something about a collection that just doesn't vibe well with what my style is. And this was definitely one of those collections. Like like my husband actually walked past some of the cardstock and he's like, is it Easter? These Easter pages? And I'm like, no, they're summer pages. But this collection really came together for me once the embellishments started coming in. And the pages turned out really relatable to our summer activities, and it just tied everything in really well, and the embellishments with the paper ended up working out really nicely. So and that happens. Like sometimes, you know, you pull something out and you think it looked really great, and you had these pieces that looked really good, but then when you put it all together, it's like sometimes it's not disappointing, but it's like it just didn't end up the way you thought it would in your head. But it did come together in the end, which I'm really, really happy about. So this page for me is inspired by pictures that we have, again, playing on the beach. A lot of times as a family we'll have a wiener roast as the kids are playing in the sand on the beach. We still do that even now that the kids are teenagers. So having the hot dogs and the beach banner on one page was solely based on the pictures that I have to work with, and that's kind of the inspiration for this page. It's just talking about, you know, being in the sun and having fun and splashing around and having a wiener roast on the beach. So that's the inspiration for this page. Okay, so water fights are a really fun activity we have in the summer, and we always have pictures every summer of adults running around with the kids, or dunking kids in the lake, or running around with water guns. And some of them are some of them have water hoses, and some of them have buckets. So it's definitely like something that all of the kids and us adults get involved in. So I have a lot of water balloon kind of pictures, but if you don't, this background page could easily be switched out with another paper in the collection that's not necessarily showcasing water balloons, and this page could easily be changed to something with less of a water balloon theme. So this could easily be like a general summer page. Speaking of summer, I want to know like your guys' opinions about scrapbooking in the summer. Do you guys scrapbook a lot in the summer? Do you take a break for the summer from scrapbooking and kind of start back up in the fall or winter time? And generally speaking, I was never one to pull up my scrapbooking stuff in the summertime. I would never really spend a lot of time crafting, partly because my kids are home in the summer from school, so we don't do as much crafting type stuff. We spend a lot more time outside doing outdoor activities, and we're gone from home a lot more. So I just kind of wanted to know from you guys, like, is this scrapbooking stuff that you kind of do all year, or do you take a break for the summer? So here I use the chipboard titling that says summer, and then I put a die cut piece that says say hello to summer. It's actually a big flower piece, and whenever I use a flat piece like that and I don't pop it up, I usually like to put chipboard on top of it, or layer something on top of it that has foam tape on the back, so that I create a little bit of layering and show a little bit of height difference. I also did that with the ice cream cones in the bottom left corner. I put one directly on the page just in front of the 3x3 photo area, and then I put a chipboard popsicle on top of it just to add some dimension there. And then I added 2 pieces of brads there on top of the sunglasses just to make that a three item cluster. So for this last page, I wanted to incorporate like the greens and have the flowers on this page. I really like the idea of having that bathing suit on the page as well, because it just ties in that checkerboard kind of greeny yellow color on the background. But I ended up moving, I didn't really like the bathing suit there all by itself, so I ended up moving it a little bit later on. And again here, I created my cluster sort of underneath that 3x4 photo area and above that 4x6 photo area. Again, anchoring most of my embellishments and clusters around the pictures themselves. I didn't really attach any embellishments to the outside edges of this 12x12 page. Okay, so that sunny days are here again. I just adhered that directly down to that greenish yellow checkerboard paper. I didn't pop that up because I popped up the flowers, and some of the flowers are chipboard. So everything else around it is popped up around that sunny days square piece. Okay, and at the top here I popped up this balloon that says relax, and I decided that's where I was going to put my bathing suit. And I also wanted to put this little pool floaty, so I decided to put it up with the bathing suit. And then in the end I finished it off with a little piece of chipboard that came off of the decorative brads that said summer rules. And to finish off the bottom here, I popped up on foam tape a couple of short little sayings. One of them says sunshine and a shorter one that says splash. So this is like, my kids spend a lot of time in the pool or outside in the backyard in the summer, so this is a perfect page to incorporate some of my pictures of the kids in the backyard. I really hope you guys enjoyed this week's tutorial, and we will see you next week with another tutorial. Thank you so much for watching.